Hey there, welcome back to another Scratch tutorial. Today we're going to be taking a look at creating a simple car game which uses collision detection um, in order to create a game, right? So, in other words, let's just get started. First thing I'm going to do is I've already created a new file, so I went to File, New, and this sort of popped up. We normally get our little cat here. I'm going to get rid of this cat by selecting my Delete tool up here and just get rid of the cat because I don't want to use the cat. We're going to make a racetrack, and to do that, what we're going to do is actually create a new backdrop. We're going to paint one, and you can use Adobe Illustrator to create this. It doesn't have to be through Scratch. I'm going to select a dark green color, click once on my screen here, and just draw a rectangle there. There you go. Then I'm going to get my brush tool. I'm going to increase the brush size all the way to the max. I'm going to pick a gray color, and I'm going to draw a road, right? I'm just going to start in the corner here and just draw a simple road. There you go. It's not perfect. Totally fine with that. Not a big deal at all. And one more thing is I'm going to select the line tool. I'm going to adjust the thickness there to about half. I'm going to pick a dark purple color, and I'm going to draw it right here. Okay. Now, this purple bars are finish line. This area here will be our starting point. So I'm going to call this level 1. And we'll be done with that. Okay. So we now have our background. We now need to create a little car, so I'm going to click on Paint New Sprite. There's a rectangle tool. I pick blue. Get the circle tool. Get black. And like I said, you can use you can use Adobe Illustrator to make this car. Okay. All right. Once we're done, I'm going to give this player 1. I'll call that player 1 there. Cool. Got that set up. Now you're going to notice I can click on the car. It's a little too big. I'm going to shrink it down with the shrink tool. Okay. That's what that's there for. Let's make it bigger a little bit. There you go. That's a good size. And what the objective of the game is, I want to be able to use the keyboard to control the car. So I'm going to apply a script on my vehicle, and let's see if we can get this right. We're going to go to events. I think that's where actually events, yes. We're going to go to the option called when space bar key is pressed, something happens. I'm going to drag 2 of these over, actually a total of 4. What I want to do is when I click, and I'm going to get this wrong the first time. It's going to be a bit of a trial and error. When I click the up arrow, I want the motion. I want to be able to move 10 steps forward. So I'm going to hit the check mark. I'm going to hit the up arrow on my keyboard. But you notice I'm actually going right this way. And the reason for that is because the x-axis gets positive towards the right side and negative towards the left side there. I'm sure you're confused, so I'm going to quickly explain this. Get my line tool. Let's go, let's go. Here we go. Alright. If you know your geometry, or that x-axis point, or that center point is 0, 0, x and y, and it's positive going to the right. So this, for example, would be the x-axis would still be well, it's not letting me write there, but 0, 100 or something on this end. So it's positive this way. Take that back. 100 is the x-axis. This is 0. And if you're confused already, please review your geometry. Alright, try this again. Click once. This will be x-axis will be 0, and this will be 100 in the y. Okay. So that's how it's set up. Anyhow, we're going to go back. Hopefully you understood that. If not, the point being is you need to change your settings here. So I'm going to click on my car. We're going to change the value here. This move 10 steps. I'm going to change it to -10. Okay. -10 on my keyboard. Press the green arrow. And then if I press the up arrow, I go forward. And I want the opposite. If I press the down arrow, I want to be able to move 10 steps back the other way. Okay. And then here, if I press the left arrow key, hit the check mark. That's not what I want. I'm also going to apply a turn as well. Yeah, just bear with me here. Let me get this set up here. I usually don't have this memorized off the top of my head. Okay. Okay, maybe I don't want that there. I want that here. Right arrow, cool. Okay, so I'm going to change the degrees maybe like 10. I don't want it too much. This will help you make the movements a little more finite on your vehicle. And you can kind of play around with the controls. Every time you change something, press the green arrow, and I'm just changing the controls based on what I think works for me. Okay, so you got to decide on that. Now, before I continue on, like I said, the up arrow on my keyboard, I'll move to the left. Down arrow will move to the right. Left arrow will move at an angle. Okay, I'm going to change that to 5. That'll help there. Hit the check mark, or hit the green. Yeah, that helps. Okay. Now the next thing is I need to set the position of this car when we first start. So if I go to my events, when I click, let me move these guys down here a bit. When I click on the green arrow, I want the car to start at a certain location, and that's designated by a position. So I'm going to go to my motion option. When I click, I want the car to start at this value here, and it automatically selects the location it starts at. In addition to that, I want the direction to be 90 degrees. So I'm going to hit the check mark there. Let's say I keep going on, I keep moving, yada yada yada. I hit the check mark or the green box. I start back exactly where I started off with. So that helps a lot. Now this game isn't really challenging. It doesn't really do anything. For example, if I go over the green, I don't get penalized or I lose the game. I really want to create an effect on here so that when I touch the green, I have to start at the beginning. So let's see how we can get that set up. We're going to be using the sensing function here. Now, the way that the sensing function works is if I end up touching something, whether it's a color or an object, an action will occur. So, but I need this to repeat forever, so to speak. So I'm going to try this. Again, I'm not fluent in this, and I'll make some mistakes along the way, and I think that's what makes this a little interesting. Sensing. If I'm touching color, right? If I click on, let's see, let me get this snapped. No, that won't even work. Okay. I need to put that in the forever loop. Okay. If sensing, if touching the color green, and to do that I click on this box, Then I'm going to duplicate this. I want to be sent back to the beginning, but I want to also say something. Say, if I'm touching green, it'll do two things. It'll say, you lose. Okay. I'm going to duplicate this by right-clicking and hitting duplicate. And I want it to send me back to this location. So I'm going to start up the game again. And go ahead. Okay, so something's not working here, and that's when you always have to check things. What I wanted to do is when I hit a green section, I want it to say you lose and also send me back, but it's not working, right? So I forget that I'm supposed to actually state that when I click on the green box, this action begins. So if I click on the green box, I hit the green, it says you lose, and I get sent back. Now if you notice, when I go off, it says you lose. It takes a little while to do that, so I'm going to change the time that it says that to about 1 second, and let's repeat that action again. You lose, and I get sent back. Okay, so let's see. I want to try and get to the end of the game using my controls, which are terrible. Ah, crud. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. Here we go. Boom. I made it to the end. But what if I want there to be an action that states that you won when I passed the goal line, right? So let's do that as well. So I'm gonna create another event that's gonna be a forever loop, right? It's gonna loop forever. It's an if statement, right? So it's happening forever if I touch, let's see, if I touch the color, and in this case it's that purple, then I want it to say you won. And then I'll have, and that's it. I mean, I can do a couple of other things. I can send it back or do something else, but I think that'll work. So let's try my program again. We'll run through it. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Getting through the tunnel here. Get through it. Boom. You won. So that is how you create a basic game for this. You can also add a scoreboard, and we will take a look at that next time, maybe. But that's it.